I'm Arthur, 78 years young, and I want to ask you something deeply personal. Have you ever looked in the mirror and found yourself staring at a tired face, full of deep wrinkles, with skin that just doesn't shine like it used to? For the longest time, I just figured, well, that's just how it goes when you get older, right? That the passing years inevitably show on your face like a mark impossible to erase. But what if that feeling of resignation, that quiet acceptance, is actually taking more from you than you realize? I remember the first time that feeling truly hit me hard. I saw a man who looked more tired than he felt inside. It wasn't just a new wrinkle, it was the accumulation of all of them, added to the looseness of the skin and the dull color that had replaced the radiance of yesteryear. And let me tell you, those innocent comments from loved ones, a grandchild joking about wrinkles, a neighbor asking if you're ill, they leave a mark. They make that gap between who you are inside and what the world sees truly ache. It wasn't vanity. It was the deep desire for my face to reflect the energy and vitality I still felt. What if I told you that a surprisingly simple, almost forgotten remedy, not from a doctor's office or a pricey TV commercial, but from an old country tradition, could help you bridge that gap? In this video, I'll share my entire journey, how I stumbled upon this simple solution, the few small mistakes I made along the way, and the profound lessons it taught me. Stick with me until the very end, because I promise, this isn't just about looking a little fresher. It's about reclaiming a deep sense of confidence, feeling more vibrant, and truly making peace with your reflection at any age. You won't want to miss the 8 golden lessons I learned that could truly transform not just your face, but your whole outlook on life. Golden lesson number 1. It's never too late to change. Even at 78, you can start a new habit. One of the biggest hurdles I've seen, both in myself and in the wonderful folks I've met over the decades, is this quiet belief that once you hit a certain age, well, everything's pretty much set in stone. We often tell ourselves, I'm too old for that now, or what's the point? It's too late to make a real difference. We fall into this trap, thinking that aging is just this passive one-way street, that our bodies and minds are simply winding down, with no hope of a turnaround. This mindset, I've found, can drain our energy, make us less interested in taking care of ourselves, and sometimes even make us dread looking in the mirror. But here's the truth. Our bodies, even in our 70s and 80s, have this incredible, almost stubborn capacity to heal and adapt. They respond to care, to new input, to a little bit of effort, much more than we give them credit for. When I was 78, feeling truly lost when I saw my own reflection, I decided to open myself up to a bit of old-world wisdom, something utterly different from all the fancy lotions and potions. I picked up a humble little bottle, with no grand expectations, just a spark of hope. And let me tell you, that small step, that simple choice, changed everything. So, my advice to you is this: open your heart and mind to new possibilities, no matter how small they seem. Don't ever tell yourself you're too old to try something new, something different, something that might just bring back a little joy. Start today, even if it's just one tiny step. Remember, this isn't about turning back the clock. It's about living every single moment you have left with dignity, vitality, and purpose. If you agree that age isn't a limit, please comment "Hope" below. Golden lesson number 2. Consistency trumps time. It's not what you do in one day, but what you sustain over months. Now, many of us, myself included, have spent years chasing after those miracle cures. You know the ones, promising to wipe away wrinkles overnight or give you boundless energy in a week. We're wired in this fast-paced world to expect instant gratification. And when we don't see dramatic changes right away, what happens? We get discouraged. We throw in the towel. We think, well, that didn't work either. Nothing ever really works for me. But our skin, our bodies, they don't work on that kind of timetable. They need time to truly regenerate, to heal from the inside out. They need steady, gentle attention, not a quick fix. I can tell you through my life I started so many things with great enthusiasm. New diets, exercise routines, those magazine remedies, only to give up after a few days or weeks because the immediate results weren't there. Each time, that feeling of failure just got a little heavier. But this simple oil, this tradition, taught me a different way. There was no expectation of instant change. From day one, I knew this was going to be a slow process. Every single night, I went through the same ritual. Wash my face, gently pat it dry, and apply those few drops. It was maybe 5 minutes out of my day, but in those few minutes, I was building a discipline I'd underestimated my whole life. The changes weren't immediate. After that first week, I still saw my wrinkles. Sure, they didn't magically vanish, but what I did notice was a subtle softness, a hint of an even tone, a faint glow that whispered of hope. That was enough. That tiny spark of difference, visible only to me at first, was the beginning of everything. So, if you've ever given up because you didn't see quick results, remember my story. Don't chase the quick magic. Cultivate the steady consistency. If you've ever thrown in the towel because you didn't see quick results, please comment "patience" to let me know you're not alone. Golden lesson number 3. Small gestures have a big impact. 5 minutes at night can transform your life. It's easy to think that if we want big changes, we need big, expensive, complicated efforts, isn't it? We look at grand schemes and intricate routines, and it feels overwhelming. That pressure, that feeling of, I just don't have the energy for all that, often leads us to do nothing at all. We tell ourselves, what difference can a little bit make? And so, we postpone, we procrastinate, or we simply never start that journey of self-care. But I discovered the immense power in the tiny, almost invisible things. My nightly ritual, that simple act of applying the oil after washing my face, was just 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That's it. Yet, in those minutes, a profound shift began. It wasn't about the grand gesture. It was about the cumulative effect of those small, consistent gestures. That initial week, as I mentioned, the changes weren't drastic. But every night, as I massaged that oil into my skin, it became more than just a skincare routine. It became a quiet conversation with myself, a promise kept, a moment of self-love that built up, drop by drop, night after night. It was those almost invisible changes, the ones only I could notice at first, that truly ignited a lasting hope within me. So, my friends, I urge you, find one small, manageable act of self-care, something you can truly commit to for just 5 minutes a day. Make it your own personal ritual, a sacred little pocket of time just for you. Believe me, that seemingly insignificant gesture can become the cornerstone of a much larger transformation. Do you have a small daily gesture you maintain? Tell me about it in the comments. Golden lesson number 4. Patience is more powerful than haste. What's immediate is often superficial. What's slow runs deeper. We live in a world that sells us instant fixes, don't we? Creams that promise to erase wrinkles in a day. Treatments that will make you feel brand new in a week. And it's so tempting to believe in that kind of magic, especially as we get older and wish we could hold on to a little more youth. But most of those immediate solutions are just window dressing. They might temporarily tighten or blur or mask, but they don't truly nourish, restore, or repair from the inside out. They're often expensive, And frankly, they leave us feeling disappointed, with thinner wallets and no lasting results. That impatience, that craving for immediate gratification, often blinds us to the true, lasting benefits of natural, time-tested methods. I used to be just like that, always drawn to the newest, shiniest product. I believed that if it wasn't modern or scientific, it couldn't be effective. But the oil taught me a different lesson. Those commercial creams, they promised speed, but always left me with the feeling they only acted on the surface. This oil, on the other hand, works slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, but deeply. It's not backed by flashy advertising. It's backed by the wisdom of generations. After a month or two, the changes started to become undeniable. My skin tone began to even out, those dark spots faded, and the deeper wrinkles, well, they just seemed softer, less harsh. It was a gradual unfolding, a quiet transformation that truly rooted itself. So, I encourage you, trust the process. Give your body the time it needs to heal and renew. Don't be swayed by those hollow promises of instant change. What's natural, what's authentic, rarely happens in a blink. If you've ever been fooled by an instant fix, please comment "wise" to share your experience. Golden lesson number 5. Self-care isn't vanity. It's respect and self-love, a reflection of dignity. Here's another big one I've noticed, especially among us older folks. We sometimes feel like taking care of our appearance is, well, it's a bit vain, isn't it? Or maybe even embarrassing at our age. We think, who am I trying to impress? Or, what's the point now? This old-fashioned idea that beauty care is just for the young can make us feel guilty or even shameful about investing a little time and effort into ourselves. And that can lead to neglecting even basic personal care, which in turn really chips away at our spirits. But let me tell you, that's just plain wrong. After a month or two with my new routine, as my skin started to look a little brighter, a little softer, I noticed something amazing happening inside me too. I wasn't just fixing my skin, I was reigniting a spark. I started looking for those shirts I hadn't worn in years, I combed my hair with more care, and I even dabbed on a bit of cologne before heading out. It wasn't about impressing anyone else. No, it was entirely for me. Seeing a more vibrant me in the mirror made me want to project that energy outward. It was a profound connection between how I looked and how I felt. So, please, let's redefine this. Self-care isn't about being vain. It's an act of profound self-love, a way of honoring yourself, your body, and your spirit. You absolutely deserve to feel good, to look your best, and to approach each day with a sense of dignity and confidence. Don't ever hesitate to make time for yourself. You are worth it. If you think self-care is important at any age, please comment self-care below. Golden lesson number 6. Every wrinkle tells a story. It's not about erasing them, but softening them without denying who you are. We're bombarded with images of perfectly smooth, ageless faces, aren't we? It's almost like society tells us that every single wrinkle is a flaw to be eradicated, something to be ashamed of. This obsession with completely erasing the signs of aging can set us up for impossible expectations and, ultimately, deep disappointment. We end up feeling inadequate, always trying to hide our true age, always chasing an unrealistic ideal. But here's what I've learned. My journey wasn't about trying to get back the face I had at 20. And honestly, I didn't even want that. What I truly achieved was a sense of peace with my own reflection. The oil didn't make my wrinkles disappear, not completely, and I still have them, of course. But it softened them. It gave my face a more even tone, a subtle luminosity that somehow made those lines look gentler. I started looking at my wrinkles not as flaws, but as cherished maps of a life well lived. Stories of laughter, struggles, joys, and wisdom earned. My skin looked healthier, more alive, and in turn, I felt more authentic. So, my dear friends, I encourage you to shift your perspective. Instead of fighting every single line, learn to embrace them as a beautiful part of your journey. Seek to nurture and soften them, allowing them to tell your unique story with grace and dignity, without denying the incredible person you've become. If you believe every wrinkle has a story, please comment "story" in the comments. Golden lesson number 7. External change awakens internal change. When you look better, you feel better, and that shows in your attitude. It's common to think that our feelings have to change first, and then our appearance might follow, or that the two are completely separate. We might feel down, and that reflects in how we carry ourselves, how we dress, or even if we bother to leave the house. But what if I told you there is a powerful two-way street between the outside and the inside? A positive loop that can uplift your entire being. When my skin started showing those subtle signs of renewal, that little bit of brightness, that newfound softness, something truly remarkable stirred within my spirit. It wasn't just about my face, it was about my entire outlook. I found myself smiling more, not just a polite smile, but a genuine one. I started putting a little more effort into my clothes before going out. My walks around the neighborhood became more frequent, and I found myself chatting with neighbors, connecting with people, and accepting invitations I would have shrugged off before. I discovered that when you feel a little better about your external self, it radiates. It gives you a special kind of joy, a confidence that others immediately pick up on. It changes the way you walk, the tone of your voice, and the sparkle in your eyes. My friends noticed it. They said I seemed different, happier, even more sociable. And they were right. It was like I had rediscovered a part of myself that had been hidden under years of resignation. So, take heart. Start with those small, manageable changes you can make to your appearance. You'll be amazed at how quickly that positive energy ripples inward, boosting your spirit and transforming your interactions with the world. Believe me, caring for yourself is an investment in both your body and your soul. If you feel better when you look better, please comment "feel good" below. Golden lesson number 8. Sharing inspires. My experience encouraged others, and listening to their stories inspired me as well. One of the most profound parts of this journey has been realizing that I'm not alone, and neither are you. So many of us, as we age, tend to bottle things up. We think we're the only ones dealing with certain changes, certain feelings, certain little aches or worries. We might feel isolated or even a little ashamed to talk about personal things. And that quiet isolation can really wear us down, keeping us from the very support and connection we need. But once I started seeing results, I couldn't keep it to myself. I began sharing my story, not as boasting, but as a genuine offering. And what happened next truly warmed my heart. My friend, Robert, 72, told me he started using the oil after seeing how much brighter I looked. He'd always had really dry, rough hands from years of woodworking, and he noticed a wonderful softness returning to them. Then there was Carol, 75, who confided that for years she'd felt uncomfortable even looking at herself in the mirror. After starting the oil, she slowly regained her confidence, started styling her hair again, wearing lipstick, and even going out more. And even my younger neighbor Betty, just turned 60, used it to soothe her sun-stressed skin and felt prouder of aging with care. Their faces didn't completely transform, but the way they saw themselves did. Each person found their own unique benefit, but the common thread? The true treasure was this powerful resurgence of self-confidence. And that, my friends, is worth more than any wrinkle erased. So, I urge you, don't keep your experiences to yourself. Share your stories, your small victories, and your wisdom with others. You never know who you might inspire, and you'll be amazed at how much you gain in return. Let's build a community where we can lift each other, remind each other that we're all in this together, and celebrate every step of our amazing journey. If you've ever been inspired by someone else's story, please comment "Inspire" below. Well, my dear friends, we've journeyed through quite a bit today, haven't we? We started this conversation back when I, Arthur, first looked in that mirror and barely recognized the man staring back. I felt that quiet ache, that disconnect between the vibrant spirit I carried inside and the tired face that met my gaze. The little comments, the societal whispers, they all reinforced this idea that perhaps my best years were simply behind me. But as you've heard, that wasn't the end of my story. This journey, sparked by a simple natural oil, has truly taught me something profound. It's not just about softening a few wrinkles, though that certainly brought a smile to my face. No, this was about something much deeper. It was about rediscovering a spark, a vitality that I thought was lost forever. It was about learning that age should never be a limit, but rather a source of quiet pride. This wasn't magic, just a consistent, loving act of self-care that resonated from my skin all the way into my soul. The real transformation, you see, was internal. It was about feeling more alive, more connected to the world, and most importantly, more at peace with my own reflection. Now, as we wrap up, we've explored 8 golden lessons, 8 simple truths that have guided me. But knowledge, as I've learned, is only truly powerful when we put it into action. So now, I have one important question for you, from my heart to yours. What is the one commitment you are making to yourself after watching this video? It could be as simple as trying out a new, gentle routine. Maybe it's about taking 5 extra minutes just for you each day. Or perhaps it's about sharing your own story, your wisdom, with someone who might need to hear it. Please share your personal commitment in the comments below. Let's inspire each other to take that first brave, beautiful step. And if you found real value and inspiration in our time together, if my story resonated with you, show your support by giving this video a hearty like. It tells YouTube that this kind of gentle, empowering wisdom needs to reach more folks like us. To ensure you continue on this journey with us and never miss another video full of life-changing insights and warm conversations, hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a growing community dedicated to living our best lives together through all the golden years. Finally, think of just one person, a friend, a family member, who you believe truly needs to hear this message today. And please share it with them. You might just plant a seed of hope that changes their life, just as that little bottle of oil changed mine. Thank you, truly, for watching. Stay healthy, stay wise, and I'll see you in our next video.